Hi everybody, Judy here. I'm back for another video. This is the 5th week and the first week in our new month. As you know, we changed things up a little bit this month, and instead of doing just walking, we have added dance videos to the mix, and we have a little treat for you because I have a sped up version of me doing my workout, which was about 19 minutes, but I've condensed it down to 3, which actually makes it far funnier. But I have that in store for you. That's going to be the first thing we do. And then I have a recipe we're going to make. It's not meatless, but it could easily be meatless. I made it with ground turkey, so it is lean, but you could easily leave out the turkey and use more vegetables. Use zucchini, summer squash, butternut squash would be delicious, broccoli, anything that you want. It does include riced cauliflower, so you probably don't want to add more cauliflower. And it's in a pepper, so maybe you would or wouldn't want to add more pepper. But it is very tasty, but we make it together. It's from Diabetic Living's Fall 2020 issue, so it's easy to find. Plus, I'll put a link down in the description of a link to the recipe. So if you want to make it, you can. And I will link last week's recipe down in the description box as well, because guess who forgot to add it? Yeah, that'd be me. Sorry about that, but both of these are really delicious. The vegetable lo mein recipe from last week, I will make all the time, and I will make this one all the time too. It is very tasty, and the riced cauliflower in this really tastes like rice. So no more about that. This week's been some ups and downs. I will be honest, the downs were definitely, I only got 2 dance videos in and 2 walks. So I was shy 1 of each. I've had a little stomach upset this week, so I haven't quite gotten into a great rhythm. But on the upside, I've had a really great week. I've enjoyed my time at work. I've enjoyed my time at home. I've had a little bit of trouble with motivation, but I think that's me and not the diet or the lifestyle program. Sort of at a crossroads to what I'm doing with my life. Sorry about all you people who might be in your 20s watching this, because it doesn't change. You think you're going to get it all figured out, and one day you wake up and you're 57, you still don't know what you want to be when you grow up. So if I ever figure it out, I'll let you know. So without further ado, let me tell you how this is going to go. We're going to watch the dance video, then we're going to see the recipe, then we're going to see the weigh-in, and then we'll wrap up. So anyway, can't wait to take you through this. Let's go right to Dancing with the Stars. Okay, so you can see I have started the workout. This workout was a lot of fun. It was to the music from Hamilton, and it was 5 songs from Hamilton, starting off with Alexander Hamilton, then moving on to My Shot, or I'm Not Going to Lose My Shot, and then into my favorite song, You'll Be Back, and then the Schuyler Sisters, and moving on to Who Lives, Who Dies, Who Tells Their Story. And that was a really nice arc. Alexander Hamilton moves a little bit slow, and My Shot and You'll Be Back have a lot of energy. The Schuyler Sisters start to take it back down again, and Who Lives, Who Dies is a nice wrap up and a chance to cool down a bit. There was a lot of arms and legs in this, and unfortunately my video did not capture all of my legs. I figured out a way to back it up a little bit and maybe get a little bit better video. We'll do that for the next time. This video was pretty easy. None of the moves were very difficult to do. There were a couple of times with my natural grace and poise and dance ability, I found that I was either on the wrong leg or had the wrong arm. They were supposed to be opposite of each other, but they weren't. And while there is a little timer in the corner on the video, which I will link below, so you can do the workout if you want. I suggest it is very fun. She does do some higher intensity moves like leaving the ground. And you can see at one point I'm doing some kicks, and those were actually a little jumping move that I chose not to jump as my knees aren't great. And at this weight, that would put a lot of undue stressy. You can see it right here. I'm kicking. So, like I said, this is a really fun video. It wasn't very difficult. She has a lot of energy and she sings along. I mean, there's no volume from her voice. You don't hear her speaking at all. She does no voiceover, but as I said, there's a little like timer in the corner, and you can tell how long each exercise is going to go and where you are in that amount of time. So if it's like 20 seconds and you're on 18, you know you're almost done, which is fantastic. I certainly enjoyed that aspect of it, so I knew that I wasn't going to die, but none of them were very long. I think the longest maybe was 30 seconds. So, you know, it was really easy to get through. This was a super fun video, and I will do it again over and over again and do some of her others. She has Mamma Mia. Hey, I hope you enjoyed that sped up video of me dancing. I enjoyed watching it. It's always fun to watch something in a little bit of fast motion. I actually was more pleased with my progress than I thought. My kicks were reasonably high. And I didn't get the straight back that she got on a lot of the down positions like these, but I did my best, and I think I did okay. Can I say that I loved watching my body in that video? No, I cannot say that, but I can say I loved watching how well I moved and how well I did doing it the whole time, smiling and enjoying myself. This video did not feel like work at all. It felt like a lot of fun. So I will be doing it again. So now, without further ado, let's get into making our recipe. Hopefully you'll enjoy it as much as I did.
Hey everybody, Judy here. I'm going to make a recipe for you today. This is stuffed peppers with turkey and feta. The recipe calls for pine nuts. I don't like them, so I'm keeping them out, but let's get started. We are getting ready to prepare our dish, and it is stuffed peppers with turkey and feta. Right now I'm prepping my beautiful peppers. I have a gorgeous orange pepper in my hand, and I've already cut and seeded a gorgeous red pepper. So we're putting them in a microwave-safe dish, and we're going to, according to the recipe, we're going to microwave them with 2 tablespoons of water on high for 4 minutes. Okay, that's probably more water than I need. I have this handy thing that my friend Andrew gave me as part of my birthday present, and you just pop it over the dish and it keeps it from splattering. I don't know if this is going to splatter, but why take the chance? So, 4 minutes. While we're waiting for the peppers, I'm going to work on more of my mise en place. And if you watch cooking shows like I do, you know mise en place means put in place. So you put all of your different ingredients and get them all ready to go so that when you come time to cook, it's super easy. So we have done our first step, and I have actually pre-cooked turkey and onion because I didn't want my turkey to go bad. I had used it for another recipe. So I'm going to heat this pan up to high and put a little olive oil in the pan. And then pop in my turkey, which I cooked with a little garlic and some onion. So I'm just going to pop that in the pan. And then we are going to add gosh, I wish I had this vision I had when I was 20. We are going to add some cumin, coriander, cinnamon, salt, pepper, and cayenne. And I will put this recipe, I forgot to put last week's recipe in the description, so I will remember to do it this time, as well as put this recipe as well. So I've already added, as I said, the onion and garlic. Now I'm going to do cumin, coriander, and cinnamon. Coriander, cumin, cinnamon. All three of them right next to each other in my pantry, which was awesome. So, a little cinnamon. A little cumin. Yikes, all you see is cinnamon. Sorry, guys. And a smidge of cumin. I like cumin. Now this is less than the recipe calls for to make, but I'm also making less than the recipe calls for. So that works out pretty well. I have these color-coded spatulas I got. This is the meat one, which makes it super easy. I have a green one for vegetables and a blue one, I guess for seafood, but I just use the blue one for chicken. So the red is for all the different meats, and except for chicken, and the green is for vegetables. So I have my cumin, my coriander, and my cinnamon. Now I need to add a little bit of salt. I keep my salt in a little salt cellar, just makes it easier to use. This was one of a set of 4 from IKEA. They're super affordable. I use them for everything from buttons to change to spices. I just really love how they look, and they make things super, super easy. So warming up this turkey and adding the spices. The next thing we need to add, some cayenne pepper and some ground pepper. Now I'm not a huge spicy fan, but this only calls for a 1/4 teaspoon. And I really don't like black pepper, so I won't be adding any black pepper at all. But I've added a smidge of cayenne to give it some flavor and some heat. And okay, I was successful. Very successful in part 1. Yay, almost died. All right. Now, we are planning to use, it calls for riced cauliflower, and I am going to use some frozen riced cauliflower, and I'm going to just add it right into the pan frozen. Man, I got that cayenne right in my throat, or the cinnamon, one or the other. I really like riced cauliflower. In fact, I have issues with eating raw cauliflower, so for a long time I didn't think I should eat cauliflower because it upset my stomach so badly. But I have really started to love roasting cauliflower. Oh my gosh, it's so delicious. And if you haven't tried buffalo cauliflower, that's really yummy. It's almost as good as buffalo wings. I can make it, make some buffalo cauliflower, and it gets that craving for buffalo wings, which is awesome. And it's really not difficult to make, so that's yummy. But riced cauliflower is really a great substitute in a lot of dishes, and really pretty great if you're doing a lower carb for either diabetes or whatever reason you might be using it for. So right now I am just mixing together the turkey mixture with the spices and the riced cauliflower. I used Cascadian Farms, which is organic, but you certainly wouldn't have to do that, because I think they sell a bunch of different brands. So we stirred in the cauliflower, and we're doing it till it's completely heated through, and then we're going to stir in our cilantro and our feta cheese. And as I said, I'm not a fan of pine nuts, so I didn't do them. I probably should have gone ahead and taken the chance to do them, to go ahead and put the pine nuts in, but I also forgot to buy them in the store. So that made the decision pretty easy. I absolutely love cilantro, but I know there are people who think it tastes like soap. I don't think it tastes like soap. I think it's absolutely delicious. So I was excited for a recipe that includes fresh cilantro. This also includes a little fresh mint at the end, which I think is delicious. I use fresh mint in my tzatziki sauce, and it makes a huge difference. Maybe next week I'll do Greek kebabs with tzatziki sauce, because it is so yummy. And I use the tzatziki recipe from The Joy of Cooking, and let me just tell you, delicious. Delicious. This is already looking amazing. I'm going to add the cilantro, and then I'm going to chop up a little feta and pop that in. I like to buy my feta in a block rather than crumbles, because I think it stays a little moister. When I was a little girl, my grandmother, we lived just a couple blocks from a Greek grocery store. Little tiny, smaller than the size of a convenience store today, called Liamas Market. And Liamas sold feta in blocks, and it was always sitting in brine. And when my grandmother would send me to pick up feta cheese or meat from Liamas's, because they also had a butcher counter, it was a tiny store. I don't know how they got that much in it, but she always would say, don't forget to have them put it in, leave it in the brine, have them give you some brine. And I wish I could find some packaged feta now that included some brine, but this is as close to as I get in the block, and it's Presidente, I think, brand. So I now have stirred in the cilantro. I am stirring in the feta. Don't remember how much feta I'm supposed to add. A half a cup. And since I'm making about half a recipe, I've added right about a quarter of a cup. Now I'm supposed to take this off the heat, which I'm doing. Put it over on this side, closer to y'all. And I'm going to stuff my peppers and pop them back in the oven, which is very exciting. If you haven't noticed, I get very excited about food. Food is how I got in this mess. Really, there's just nothing better than good food with friends, cooking for friends. There's, like I said, there's just really not a lot better than that. So I'm going to spray a little bit of cooking spray on this baking pan, just so nothing sticks. And then I'm going to pop my peppers. And this pudding, woo, that's nice and hot. It's going to give them a nice sear. I didn't intend to have this pan in the oven when it was heating up, but I did. Kind of forgot what I was saying, but there's nothing better than sharing a meal with good friends. And this meal certainly looks like it's going to be a delicious, delicious meal. I think I made more filling than I needed for my 2 peppers. But you got to remember, I'm cooking just for myself. So I didn't need to make 8 peppers, even if I did freeze them. So I'm just packing in my peppers with, I probably used more cauliflower than the recipe called for this much meat, but I used a half a pound of meat and a whole bag of the riced cauliflower. So my proportions for this recipe may be a bit off versus the recipe, but I sort of made do with what I had. And I think I put the fresh mint, let me check the recipe. Yeah, we don't put the mint on until the recipe is done. So now I'm supposed to cover this with foil. I have like 8 things of foil. Of course, I picked the one that isn't open. But actually, that's good because it's the heavy-duty one. Remember my saying that mise en place was having everything in place? I did a really lousy job at that. But they're all ready to go. I'm going to pop it in the oven. And try and get the tin foil to stay on. Okay, pop it in the oven. And these cook for 15 minutes. And then we're going to take off the foil and cook for 8 more. So I'll see you all then. This is our beautiful plate of food. I'm very excited to try this. I'll let you know what I think. First bite, it is very hot, but it's really, really delicious. It definitely has a Mediterranean flavor. That cinnamon and coriander really work together to make it feel almost Turkish. It's really delicious. Yes, it probably would be great with some pine nuts in it, as they're very important to Greek cuisine, Turkish cuisine, a lot of different Mediterranean dishes. But this dish is really, really delicious. And the riced cauliflower really does work like rice in this dish. It is very yummy, and I will definitely be putting this in the rotation often. So highly recommended, 2 thumbs up. Okay, let's see what we have here. Okay, I don't have my glasses on. What's that say? 223.8? Well, hello again. I hope you enjoyed trying the recipe we created, the dance video, and the weigh-in. So I guess you can see that I lost weight. I'm so excited. I wasn't sure I was going to because I didn't do all my working out and I didn't drink all my water, but 223.4. Oh my God. Oh my God. I am so excited. I have not been below 230 in as long as I can remember. So at least in the last 6-7 years. And I think it may be longer than that. And I certainly know I haven't been below 220 in probably close to 17 years. Eek. But I think we're going to get there. And I'm really excited about it. Now, I am a little concerned that it is going too fast still. And I'm still tweaking the calorie number to see where it needs to be. I also am having some issues trying to navigate when I should eat. I'm not intentionally doing intermittent fasting, but I am usually trying to finish up my last meal of the day before 4 o'clock, partially because the friends that I walk with, we typically walk after 4 o'clock, and partially because since I work at 3:30 in the morning, I have to get up at 2:30. I go to bed at around 7:30 or 8 o'clock or 8:30. And so if I eat much later than, 5 o'clock, it's bedtime. And I don't want to sleep on an empty stomach. So I try to eat earlier in the day. So I'm still trying to navigate that. And sometimes I, I either don't get all my calories in for the day because I run out of time, but I'm finding I'm not really hungry, and I'm enjoying the meals that I make. I'm really trying to cook. Part of that's the pandemic. I really haven't had an opportunity to go out to eat. We have had takeout. My daughter and I have dinner together once a week, and we usually do takeout. And I have gone to the occasional restaurant with an outdoor seating where their tables are socially distanced. Probably been out 3 or 4 times. But I used to eat out 2, 3 times a week. So that's big for me. So I've been enjoying cooking. I always thought cooking for one was really not a lot of fun. And I'm not saying it is a ton of fun, but I am cooking for myself again, and I'm portioning out and maybe freezing a portion or two to eat later, and just recycling through leftovers, which is why it's really important for me to be creative with what I'm cooking, because I'm not really a leftovers girl. So, but I'm enjoying them more because I'm trying new things. So that was my week. I had fun at work. I had, some challenges. We were really busy one day, and I have lacked motivation for getting a lot of work done at home. But I had a friend come over, and she's helping me organize my house. And she and I did my TV cabinet last week. And this week we were going to do my office closet, which is just a nightmare. But I wasn't feeling terrific this morning, so I postponed that. And but I've been doing more. Like, I cleaned out my living room closet without her, and I have not seen the floor of that closet in like 2 years, and I've only lived here 3 years. That's where I would just put things that I didn't know what to do with. But I cleaned that out. I donated a bunch of stuff. Anyway, I'm rambling at this point, and while you may enjoy my rambling, if so, put it in the comments below. I'll ramble more. I can ramble all day long. But I hope you're enjoying my journey with me. This Odyssey has been really positive so far. I'm excited. I'm excited that I'm using my body more, getting outside and hiking, and we just calling it walking at this point. But I'm really excited to see where this takes me. Thanks, and I'll see you next week.